Oh man, that is hilarious. All right, ladies and gents, we are at it again. Episode 34, Off the Chain. Tonight, I got my man John Kim with us tonight as a guest co-host, if you can say. We're going to get started here in a second. Just let a few more people get in here. Make sure you guys hit the like, hit the share, comment, do all that good stuff. Call in as well. I love people to call in. This is a call-in show, so make sure you guys call in.
1 second.
We got a few topics we're going to touch on tonight, so hang tight here, people. 1 second.
Got it. We live? Are we live?
Yeah, we're live. We're going to start here in a second. George, how are you, man? Bit Native, Z Draper. Who else we got in here? Killy Kill, No Name, Ill Cryptmatic. Shout out to everybody out there. Tim G, one of my YouTube members. Thanks for the support, bro. A lot of you guys got a chance to watch that part 1. Trader James, James Bond. We'll start here in a second.
Fuck it! Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Okay. Ready?
Fucking thing sucks! We'll do it live.
Okay. Yes. Welcome, guys, to yet another episode 34. We're racking them up. Hope everyone's doing well out there tonight. I'm glad to get this guy on, finally. Celebrity. I'm nervous, man. I'm nervous. I got celebrity. I got celebrity in the room. Johnny Kim, what's good, bro?
What's up, brother? How are you doing, man?
Good, man. Good. So I'm glad to finally get you on to a live stream. Man, how are you doing down there in Texas?
I'm good. I heard Texas is opening back up next week.
Oh, that's a mistake, man.
Ooh, hey, everybody get ready, because me and Crypto Blood may not have some things in common. We may not see some things eye to eye, but
I'm I love an argument. That's what I love an argument. So this is gonna be a great show. So wait a minute, bro. Hold on. You guys are about to open back up.
It's what somebody tweeted just now. So hopefully it's true.
So how are the cases looking down there? Evidently they're not too bad right now.
I'm out every day. I upload a video of me going to a business that was about to close down. They tweeted, yeah, and they got so many people reaching out to them, and now they're open for business still.
Okay, so no mask for you?
No mask for me.
Okay. Yeah, that's real smart. John Kim. Real smart. So we're gonna tonight, guys, we got a couple of subjects we're gonna talk about. One being, of course, what's on everyone's mind, or not John Kim's mind, but most people around the country, around the world, this coronavirus. We're gonna talk about. We didn't get a chance to talk about this last time, which is, we got CoinMarketCap being acquired by Binance. I want to hear what John Kim feels about that. And then also we're going to talk about crypto banks, or central bank digital currency, CBDCs. There's an article talking about that's on the way in less than 3 years. I think that's possible. We're also going to talk about smoking weed and COVID. Boy, is that good or bad? We'll have to talk about it. I got a lot of weed smokers, I think, out there. So that'll be an interesting one. And then also out of Zero Hedge, we've got this crazy scene video of a Philly man being dragged off of a bus for not wearing a mask. Wow. So that's going to be interesting, John Kim. Which one do you want to start with tonight, man? You get to pick.
Can you hear me now?
Yep. What do you want to start with tonight?
I'm having some difficulties here.
I hear you.
Hello?
Yep, I can hear you.
All right, there you go. Sorry, man, I missed the whole thing. What did you say?
What do you want to start with tonight as far as the topics for this evening?
Well, I kind of want to start with the basis of why we're having so many disinformation, right?
Okay.
Or misinformation. Mm-hmm. And before we go on like a tangent or talk about everything else, I just want to talk about the hypocrisy, of everyone that's involved in business, banking. Just to go over some, for instance, right? Apple, right? Apple's a great company, right? Even though they make most of their stuff in China. They got fined $1.23 billion for anti-competitive behavior. They got fined $27 million, right? For knowingly slowing down an iPhone with the new update.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I remember that one.
So I just want to stick with the facts and let people know who the hell we're dealing with when it comes to trust, the word trust, okay? Starbucks, this really bothers me. Starbucks, they have 7 billion cups every year. They use 7 billion cups people throw away every year.
Yeah.
They're the biggest, they're supposed to be the leading national retailer in recycling program, okay? The hypocrisy of your whole business model is paper and plastic that people take and throw away. 7 billion cups, but yet they're advocating for recycling. To me, that's kind of a hypocrite, right?
Paper straws.
Yeah. So Wells Fargo forced to pay $3 billion for bank's fake account scandal.
That was horrible.
No, it's not just horrible. They know exactly what they're doing.
And what? They just let Wells Fargo in on this whole bailout thing. Did you know that? Did you hear about that?
See, everything's going to be tied in, right? So the only reason they did that is because they knew the profit was going to be more than the fine, right?
Right.
At the end of everything, right? It's all about numbers. Harvard Business School doesn't teach business ethics anymore. It teaches you how to make more money, right? It tells you how to skew numbers, right? Play with numbers. So we're looking at banks and big businesses blatantly, flagrantly cheating, lying to its customers in order to make profit, knowing that the fine will not be more than the profit. So it's better to ask for forgiveness instead of asking for permission. It's that kind of a deal, right?
Yes.
So I got a couple more. I'm gonna tell you in billions how much each bank has been fined, okay? Bank of America, 76 billion. JP Morgan Chase, 43 billion. Citigroup, 19 billion. Deutsche Bank, 14 billion. And the list goes on and on and on and on. Another one, Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan Chase, 2017 calls Bitcoin a fraud. Next 2 weeks, JP Morgan Securities was the biggest buyer of Bitcoin on the dip. And then Bitcoin goes to how much in 2017? 20,000, right? They made some money. And in January, Jamie Dimon comes out and says, I'm sorry for calling Bitcoin fraud, right? These are the people we're dealing with. CBS admits to using footage from Italy and publishes as a New York City crisis, right? And they get caught and they literally apologize, right? And then a week later, they put out another video of a nurse crying and saying that she quit because of the coronavirus concern, but it was proved that this lady hasn't been working for a year, right? And she has a bipolar disorder. And if you see her Instagram, Facebook, she's making crazy crazy videos that proves that she's bipolar, right? So what else is there? All right, so today I just read that the file that every hospital got from the Division of Vital Statistics, right? And one of the questions is, when will it be implemented? It's the new code to write on the death certificate. And it says immediately. So every hospital is being forced to immediately put this into action when it comes to all the death certificate. One of the questions was, should COVID-19 be reported on the death certificate only with a confirmed test? It says COVID-19 should be reported on the death certificate for all where the disease caused or is assumed to have caused or contributed to the death. If you assume that it's COVID-19 on the death certificate, COVID-19 becomes the cause. So these are some of the things that I want to lay out as the framework.
So are you saying, it sounds like you're building a case here, like you're some great lawyer here. This is your opening statement here, John.
You know I'm not smart enough to build a case. All I'm saying is no.
Hold on. So it sounds like to me you're saying this is all a hoax.
No, it's not.
Okay.
I believe the virus is real. I believe it's dangerous. People are actually dying, but you never let a good crisis go to waste.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Amen to that. I agree with you there. I totally agree with you there.
So I believe there's a deeper agenda that the elite are pushing right now. And if you think about it, whoever controls the currency has the power. Whoever controls the media controls the narrative. So I just listed the people that we trust the most in business and in the media and the doctors, right? And we're in a situation where all of us are probably being lied to, right? So what I wanted to establish before we go on is that there is a level of hypocrisy that I've never witnessed before in my life. So my suggestion to everyone is this: ask a lot of questions, right? Do your own research. Do not take what they say to be 100% truth, because they have a history. They have a long history of lying to us and manipulating data to push their own agenda. So that's what I'm saying. But coronavirus, 100% real. It is dangerous. It is lethal. It's taking people out. South Korea, China, Italy. I'm not saying it's all fake. But what I'm saying is, don't trust what they're pushing into the media as the real data and narrative.
That's the thing. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think, but I'm kind of on the other end, meaning I don't trust I take the opposite of what they're saying. So if they're saying that it's, only going to be X amount of deaths now, then I take the opposite. I mean, that means to me there's going to be even more deaths. So I just literally take the inverse of whatever they tell us, like they did at the beginning. They said it was nothing. Don't worry about it. Don't wear a mask. Don't buy a mask. I take the opposite of that. I go and buy a mask. I go and prepare. I do the opposite of what these guys are telling us, because their whole initiative to me, John, is to they rather keep people sedated, calm, and without panic than tell them the truth.
So, I mean, but think about it though. It's all about incentives, right? What incentive do you have to lie, right? And I just believe so many people that are in the wealthy area just has too much incentive for themselves, for the group that they work with and the network that they have, to continue to give out misinformation so that people will stay in fear.
Yeah.
But everything passes. I'm over 40. Everything passes sooner or later, right?
Yes.
But what's not going to pass.
It's not the end of the world. I'm not one of those that's saying this is the end of the world. No, not at all. Not at all. So, what do you want to start with tonight, man? I sent you a list of articles, topics. How do you want to start? How do you want to proceed tonight?
Start with the Chinese virus.
That's a good one. So, our man Donald Trump. This is a good one because I have some questions for you regarding this. You're not Chinese, I know, but most people may not know in America. We're kind of ignorant to things in some cases when it comes to differentiating Asians. But how do you feel about this? This is an article, guys, out of Zero Hedge. I'll drop the link right now so you guys can check it out. And it's funny because another Zero Hedge article we will talk about later was actually flagged when you try to open it in Twitter. That was crazy. Yeah. I had to try it for myself, John, just to see if it happened. It happened to me too, which was insane.
Yo!
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. That is crazy. We'll talk about that shortly. But Zero Hedge, 3 national polls show majority of Americans agree with Trump calling coronavirus Chinese. Or basically, he calls it the Chinese virus. What are your thoughts about this, man? Because I'm going to be honest with you. At this point, this virus has caused so much economic damage to small business. You're a small business owner. You know how devastating this is. You just, posted a video online showing you were at a small business that was about to close down. Small businesses are getting hit hard by this. What are your thoughts about the virus being called the Chinese virus or the CCP virus? I hear online a lot.
So first of all, I actually got out of all my business in 2018, which everybody said I was stupid, but a couple years later, I think I made the right choice.
Right.
But I don't have a problem with people calling it the Chinese virus because I have a pretty thick skin, right? I'm what you call an anti-fragile guy. I'm not gonna sit here and cry over people not being PC. But one thing I do have a little bit of problem is when President of the United States calls it the Chinese virus, then we have some people that are very loyal to the president and who are also just blindly loyal. And there are actually Asian people getting beat up. You know what I mean? So that's what concerned me. But if you notice, Trump stopped calling it China's virus about a week and a half ago because I think him and China President Xi had a talk, and I think they came to an agreement that that's just not good for trade. That's not good for the future of the relationship, and I think he just stopped. But if it came from China, I don't mind it being called Chinese virus, right? But let's first make sure that it was from China and it wasn't leaked from somewhere else, because we would never really know the whole truth.
We wouldn't for sure, but I'm assuming they have the intel on that, right? President.
Yeah, how about that professor from Harvard that was involved? Yeah, that was getting paid by the Chinese. Yeah,
right. I'm not saying that it. I think it. Or when I say it leaked from there, doesn't mean that it was created there. But I'm just saying the spread. Ground zero was Wuhan. We can all agree with that, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
The ground zero. I don't think it was the wet market, though, because there's some evidence that shows that there were people 20 miles out that were kind of like patient zero or near patient zero that would have never had that correlation with the wet market down there in Wuhan. But
it was a good cover, though.
Absolutely. So it's interesting that this article says here, guys. I'm just going to scroll down through it. It shows that they did a poll back in March, early April, and showed that 52%, 54%, and then 52% of Americans in agreement with the president calling it Chinese virus. Like you said, though, people, I'm somewhat, I have been a Trump supporter. I've been very disappointed in what he's been doing lately. He's doing a little bit better now, but he started off I'm just looking at him like, oh my God, bro, you cannot be serious. You cannot be sitting here telling people it's going to magically disappear in a couple of days. Man, when I heard him say that, I was like, Sleepy Joe may have a chance, bro. Sleepy Joe may have a chance.
No. Hey, Ben Askren has a better chance against Biden.
I agree. I got a better chance than Joe Biden. But, I'm not one of those people, John, that just I'm on the bandwagon with someone. Like if you mess up, you need to be called out for it. And that's how everyone should be about anyone, whether you're Democrat, Republican, whatever, independent. You can't blindly follow someone, man. That's a dangerous position to put yourself in, because at any point, maybe that person gets compromised. And then now you're following a person and lining up with their ideas and ideology. And now you're kind of on the wrong side of things now. So,
but hey, Crypto Blood. I mean, if we're being honest, right? So many people don't want to just be brutally honest. Everybody just wants to kind of live on the surface level. Everybody got jokes. Everybody's a racist, right?
Yeah.
When no one's listening, right? When you're around your homeboys, or at least in your head, you've called John Kim a chink a long time ago. You know what I mean? You've used the N word as a joke or whatever.
No, we don't use the N word as a joke. That's just part of our vernacular.
No, I'm talking about like white people. And other people in
absolutely.
General. Yeah.
Listen, man, white people listen to more rap than we do, and we know they using the N word when they riding around in the car by themselves. Absolutely.
Actually, when I was younger, I grew up with black people, so I learned how to fight from a black guy. So I was excused to use the word "N" when I was growing up, because I was with my crew. I was knighted.
I had white boys that was using the N word. Hey man, it's you gotta be let in to use it around other black people.
I know, right? I had the special permission.
No, you're right, man. You go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish your thought though.
Yeah. So, but what I'm saying is, like, I don't like it when people use the race card, because it doesn't help, right? It doesn't help the fact that you don't have enough thick skin to be able to not let that affect you, and you continue to go build and become successful and be who you are created to be. So many people use it as a crutch. I know what's going on. I know whenever I'm in a room somewhere, there's some dudes that always bring up, penis jokes, right? Like, no, seriously. I mean, they try to be funny, right? And they be like, "Hey, what's up, John?"
Oh, no. You know what I hate? See,
what?
I don't watch sports anymore, right?
Yeah.
Really, I'm more finance. I love finance. I watch and pay attention to finance, finance markets and financial markets and stuff. Every time, I was at this charity event last year for a very wealthy person, and I'm standing there with my buddy, suit, wearing a tie and suit and all that. And first thing the white guy says to us, "What do you think about LeBron?" And I'm like, Why you gotta just think that I want to talk about sports? Is that the only thing black people know about? Is that the only thing a black person knows about? Yeah.
But it's just the way people are, and sometimes I look past that ignorance, and sometimes, most of the times, I find a pretty cool guy behind there. They just don't know any better. So, it doesn't really bother me. And
black people, listen, behind closed doors, black people can be very racist towards other cultures. Absolutely. And I think.
Wait, I'm gonna say something about black people. All right.
Go
ahead. And this is the truth. All right. When I was younger, white people, all right, used to talk about me behind my back, and black people just tell me straight in my face, right? Jackie Chan looking motherfucker, So I mean, I would get into a lot of fights with black people, but we became really good friends because they actually told me in my face. To me, that was honorable, right? That was a man being a man, right?
Yeah.
But if you're nice to me in my face and call me a chink behind my back, I can't defend myself on that.
Right.
So
exactly, John. I'd rather you be a racist in my face, so I know where we stand. I don't agree with your ideas, but at least I know as a man, I know, okay, you don't like black people, you don't like Asian people, you don't like Mexican people, whatever. I totally agree with you there. I totally agree.
And bro, and we make fun of white people in Asia. We're all like, hey, hey, round eye.
Right.
We make fun of the white people for having big old eyes. So I mean,
right.
It's the same difference.
It is, man. It is. So you're okay with him calling. I see your point about, possibly, as you stated, kind of getting rowdy, getting people riled up who follow Trump faithfully, it kind of gives more fuel to the fire for him to continue to call it Chinese virus. How are you being treated? Now it's a little different. CDC came out late as hell now saying that you should wear something, a mask or a t-shirt or something, bandana over your face when you're out. Do you see a lot of people down there in Texas with masks on or no?
I'd say about 30-40%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a lot higher than it used to be, because maybe about a month ago, bro, if you would have been out with a mask on as an Asian man, they would have been crucifying you.
I mean, I was wearing masks when it wasn't cool. And I get on the airplane and everybody was looking at me like I had the coronavirus. I'm like, fool, I'm the only one being taking precautionary measures.
Exactly. Let me get 10 Pound in here real quick. 10 Pound, what's good, bro?
Hey, what's happening?
What's the word?
What's up, 10 Pound?
Hey, it's good to hear from you again, John Kim. How your ribs doing, bro?
Oh, it's good.
Speaking of deadly and dangerous, man, like I'm afraid of you more than I am the virus, bro. It's kicking ass, man.
Oh,
hey,
that's funny. So,
yeah,
so what do you think about Trump calling it the Chinese virus, but then backing up off
Trump.
of it though? He kind of came off of it.
You're right. It's not just Trump though. The Epoch Times, man, they've been running these ads on Facebook. I'm not sure if you've been seeing them.
I follow Epoch.
Yeah, man, they're actually doing a lot of investigative journalism.
They are. They're doing a good job. They're doing a good job with this whole situation.
Exactly. So there's substantial reason to call this the CCP virus, my dude. That's all it comes down to. Like, the facts all line up. If it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, it's a motherfucking duck.
We eat the duck.
Hey man, you must be selling a lot of masks over there, man. I see you got an elevator in your new house. I'm looking around, I'm seeing elevators.
I'll be real with you, man. This right here was actually a product that I was flipping on the blockchain way back when. This was actually a web page. I kid you not.
Was this Markspace?
Yes, it was. You already know.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I did some sponsorship stuff for them before.
Yeah, exactly. So this is actually a room that I own. I don't have access to it anymore. Dude, they're undergoing this weird overhaul to save their business model. And I don't even know what's happening.
That's a done data, bro.
It might be, but dude, I believe so too. But we gotta be vigilant in this space. It's still emerging. Assets come and go, but digital real estate is still something you should keep your eye out for.
I hear you. Johnny Kim, what's going on with you? He jumped away. I saw.
Yeah, he did.
What's going on with Litecoin and what's your eye on right now in the crypto space? Are you still real heavy on the Litecoin tip or what?
I mean, you can't just wake up and your passion just disappears, right?
Right.
Of course. So yesterday I tweeted out about Gemini app.
Yeah.
Releasing Gemini Pay, where you can pay with Litecoin and Bitcoin and some other coins at the same place that you can use Speedin app, which is like Nordstrom Rack, Nordstrom, Topgolf.
When they open back up, right?
Yeah.
Can't use it right now.
No. Actually, you can. I can get Dunkin' Donuts right now.
Okay, nice.
So I'm about to make a video on that using Gemini Pay. But the cool thing is the Speedin app, which is the Flexa coin, was only 1,000 downloads on the Play Store, right? And Gemini has 500,000 plus. So 500,000 wallets right now can literally pay with Litecoin, pay with Bitcoin at one of the biggest retail stores in the world, as Nordstrom and Bye Bye Baby. So yeah, listen, you know how I know all these people are connected in the government and the business? Crypto has a network too. There's a lot of conversations happening behind the scenes, and the people only hear about some of the things that are actually being put out. But what's going on behind the scenes is a lot bigger than what's being, introduced to the public. I think it's the same thing with the government and the people about real information.
I agree with you, John Ken. By the way, is this app owned by the Winklevoss twins?
Yeah, Gemini
Okay.
Exchange.
All right, figures. Yeah, I mean the name, you know. So I gotta ask though, man. Like speaking of which, I was just thinking to myself, how exactly is the private sector surviving right now? Like, you know what I mean, compared to what's going on in the public. Like, what? How do you think that this is gonna pan out for the cryptocurrency space in the long run? Like, do you
Yeah,
think
that's a
that?
good question.
Yeah.
Because their business is just like any other, business.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the strong will survive, and I
Mm-hmm.
think I think that's everyone.
Yeah,
every
right.
every
Across the
size
board.
of businesses.
Right.
Whoever did not, didn't take too much risk and wasn't in debt, they're going to be able to survive longer. But people who were aggressive and used a whole bunch of loans to expand, they're going to be in trouble. And then, I said 2 years ago to my family that one day I'm going to be able to buy a house with one Bitcoin, a nice house with one Bitcoin, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we're about to witness with this whole Airbnb thing. We're about to witness a housing crash 2.0
Yeah.
soon, and it's going to be crazy.
Was the I can't remember. You said you watched the latest Trader Jane episode. Did she talk about Airbnb in part one?
I don't know.
Okay, maybe not. Okay, she talked about that.
I think she did. I think she did.
Okay. Yeah, man, that's I didn't even put that together. Like, you're right, man. The Airbnb people are getting their asses handed to them right now.
From what I read in the article, they have close to, I think, 300,000 to 500,000 properties.
Wow. That's crazy.
And no one's going out. No one's traveling. No one's renting. So if this goes on a little bit longer, dude, it's going to be crazy housing market crash again. That's going to far beat the 2008 housing crash.
Before we move on to the next topic, John, I want to ask you what should be done, because this is kind of in the same vein of this whole Trump calling coronavirus the Chinese virus. What should we do to China? What repercussions should be handled or done to the Chinese regime because of this virus? They really did initially cover it up and allowed it to spread in that time frame, maybe between December and late January. They could have really tightened up on things. They really didn't. They tried to hide things and brush things under the rug. What should be done at this point? I mean, a lot of countries are starting to point fingers at China, man. It's just funny. Things are kind of turning against China. Everyone loved China for the last decade and some change. And now the tables are turning, man. What do you think is going to happen? Or should happen, I should ask. What do you think should happen?
I think just like when it hit America, it took us, we got caught off guard, right? I think every country got caught off guard in the beginning. You know what I mean? And they were doing whatever it takes to not cause panic. I think the number one strategy of any government, any country, is to make sure that there's no panic and you control the people so that there won't be any civil unrest. I think China did mess up, and what I don't know how they're supposed to pay for it, but I'm sure since it's a communist country, they're not gonna sit there and say I'm sorry and whatever. But I think Trump is probably the only person that's bold enough to ask for something from China, and he has a lot of leverage because U.S. we are the biggest consumers of their products. So
we do have some leverage, right?
Yeah. So leave it up to Trump and his people to figure that out. And just a real quick story. You guys know how China came to power?
Mm-mm.
How this was a long-term plan that they had.
Right.
They made 1 cent off of every product back in the day. And their goal was this: we're going to make 1 cent of each product, but we do this long enough, the whole world is going to come to us and we're going to build everything for them. That was their long-term plan to become the next superpower, and taking the smallest amount of profit possible and luring everybody in so that they can become the biggest supplier of the world. And they literally became one.
Yeah.
But I think through this pandemic, through this crisis,
This
I
set
think
them back, bro. This set them back big time.
Yeah, real bad. And I think we need to bring the factories back. I think America.
I think that's one silver lining. Yeah, that's one positive out of this, man. It just took everyone by surprise, even our leaders. I don't think we understood the severity of how much we relied on supply chains from China, man, down to our medicine, like vital things, man.
See, that's where Trump actually got vindicated, because he was talking about all that stuff, bringing the people back, bringing the companies
even
back.
Before this, right.
And everybody said he was stupid. He doesn't know how to do relations and whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
But when crap hits the fan, the truth seems to rise to the top, and I feel like Trump got vindicated.
I feel like he was talking out of both sides of his mouth at one point. He was saying, but yeah,
oh,
totally,
really?
I completely agree.
Really?
Okay, for the most part, he's right. John Kim is right. But he was also talking about how he loves China and how China is a very lovely nation and they provide a lot of services. But he was also talking about how they stole a lot of our intellectual property at the same time.
It's a delicate balance, though. When you're a leader, you do have to stay diplomatic at some point, at some level. And, he struggles with that. He wants, I know what he wants to say, but he's trying so hard to be diplomatic. That's just not in his blood.
He's biting his tongue like crazy.
He is, man. He's trying so hard. Because to be honest, John, any other president would have never came out and started saying China virus. They would have never done that.
No.
He jumped out there, bro. And I'm
Not
sure
Bush.
Everybody in the administration was like, whoa, you can't say that. You can't say that.
Not even Bush. You don't think Bush would have said it?
No, I don't think Bush. So. You talking about W. Bush?
Yeah, I'm talking about Bush Jr.
Junior? No, he wouldn't have even done that. I don't think so, bro. I don't think so. So let's talk about 10 Pound kind of brought up regarding, you did, John. You were talking about how many deals and stuff go on behind the scenes in the crypto market, right? And that kind of leads into this next topic regarding Binance acquiring CoinMarketCap. How do you feel about that situation, man? Binance is getting bigger and bigger. They're going to be like the Apple or Amazon of crypto. They already are, honestly. How do you feel about a conglomerate or a company like Binance taking over CoinMarketCap, which is like everyone watches that as a scoreboard to kind of dictate how well the crypto markets are doing? What do you feel about that?
When I went to Asia on my 7-country tour, I talked to like the CoinGecko people.
Yeah.
They're
I like CoinGecko.
Yeah, they're the competitors of CoinMarketCap, and I'm just gonna tell you what he told me. 80 to 90% of the trading volume is fake, right?
Yep.
And but it's one of those things that you like, people who know it, but we continue because of habit. Go to CoinMarketCap to see what the volume is, right? And then we kind of lie to ourselves because we don't want to believe that 80 to 90% is fake volume, so that we go to CoinMarketCap, and CoinMarketCap gives you this bloated crypto market volume, and it makes everybody feel a little bit better. So, and I even, I think CZ is one of the hardest or the most savvy businessman right now. He's nobody can catch up to what he's doing because he's always like one step ahead of everyone. Like you would have never guessed that he was gonna launch Binance US, and the Binance US CEO Catherine, I met up with her and I ate dinner with her and some of her friends. She's a big deal in the Wall Street world too, in that area, right?
Right.
That sets that up, hands it off to her, lets her run it. Now he's buying CoinMarketCap. You know what? He's just gonna do his thing. No, he's Mr. Unstoppable right now.
But how do you feel about that in the world of we're supposedly going decentralized? We're supposed to be very, decentralized or trying to get to that point. It looks like the industry side of things is going the opposite. It's going in centralized way. It's going more concentrated, bigger and bigger companies.
I'm gonna tell you what my friend Crypto Blood told me once, that decentralization is just a dream.
It is. That's why I was asking, bro.
Okay,
we got 10 pounds.
Bro,
Hold on.
you did not say that. You said it's a gradient effect. All right, there's decentralization
It's a pipe
to an
dream,
extent, bro.
It's a
No, but here's the thing.
It's not a pipe dream.
I think decentralization, when it comes to currency like Bitcoin, Litecoin, and other sound crypto, is necessary. But exchanges and businesses for profit, I mean, decentralization
too hard,
in definition is not very I don't even know what I'm looking for. It's not
efficient.
Thank you. It's not efficient.
Right.
So you shouldn't try to be decentralized if you're a for-profit company, right? Like an exchange or a coin market cap.
So how do you feel about that?
I agree.
What about the DAOs and those types of situations?
Here's the thing, Crypto Blood. I think that for the most part, if you look at the logistics of the BNB token, you can see that it's majority conglomerated within a small set of wallets. So it's fairly centralized to the point of the proof of stake mechanisms that power the entire centralized system. But they do have Binance DEX, which of course is not available to US users. So they do care about some smidgen of decentralization. It's not a true DEX. There is no actual form of trustless consensus. You know, there is still deposits. So it's a matter of having the name DEX.
Window dressing, man. It's just
it's not window dressing.
You felt that too?
It's just
the window dress.
I think, bro, man, it comes down to the perks to having a decentralized network, a web mesh system that will allow these traders to be a bit more protected and will actually counteract breaches. Because of course we all know about Binance losing thousands of Bitcoin due to breaches within their system on their exchanges. So yeah, and not only that, how the SAFU fund reserves are so vital to their ecosystem. Even Justin Sun is coming out saying he would actually cover losses for Binance. That shouldn't even have to happen. It comes down to a decentralized mechanism to stop any form of losses. That's all they really care about, is how can they protect the users and literally stop Binance from taking any losses and make sure that proof of keys isn't an issue. And that's what a DEX is really good at doing. I've actually deployed a DEX before, so I completely understand.
Right. No, I agree, and you did touch on a point that I've preached for a while, man. This whole centralization, decentralization thing is a gradient scale. It's not binary. It's not black and white. Mm-hmm. And the quicker we as an industry understand that, I think the industry does. I guess I'm saying more of the players within, like the traders and enthusiasts. The quicker we understand that, I think the better we'll understand what's really going on in this industry. So that makes sense. Any last words on the whole Binance coin market cap thing, John?
I think it's I think it's a good play by CZ. I think.
Of course.
He's a billionaire, right? He's a billionaire. So when you're a billionaire, money is no longer that important, but power is.
Right there, you go. There you go.
So,
yeah.
He's getting his own smartphone lineup.
Yeah. I heard about that. So hey, we'll see how things pan out. It's probably gonna pan out really well for him in this fire sale with this coronavirus. He's probably buying up all types of stuff. So yeah, this is crazy, man. All right, so let's go ahead and touch on John Kim. Let's touch on this whole cannabis smoking thing with the coronavirus. Let's jump back over to the coronavirus subject. Did you get a chance to look at this article?
Yeah, dude. What the heck's going on? Like, dude, it's like they're trying to touch on every aspect of life that the stock market is too high and they want to bring it down somehow. You know what I mean? Like everything has to do with like money and stocks and economy. It's weird.
Yeah. They're saying that there's a study. There's always studies, but you can bring up and you can pay a bunch of scientists a whole bunch of money to come up with whatever results you want But I think 10 Pound, you a smoker, aren't you?
Man, I've been smoking cannabis in like almost 3-4 months now.
I thought you were gonna say
yeah.
three. I thought you were gonna say
Nah,
3-4
man.
minutes.
Nah,
But
bro.
okay.
It comes down to like I was out in Philly and I was kicking it with some homies and yeah, we're just rolling J's and it's legal out that way, man. Virginia, my state, nah, I can't be rolling around like that. You know what I'm saying?
I thought 10 pound meant how much you smoke in a week. That's what
Yeah,
I thought.
right. You smoke. That's where the name comes from. It's not from silver or gold. It's how many pounds you moving around in Virginia.
Yo, you
how
crazy,
you Virginia
bro.
people be.
Yo, man, you trying to get me caught up with the feds, man. You need to chill. Yo, you out here wilding, dog.
Yo, hashtag busted. Hashtag
busted.
Oh, damn.
Hashtag busted. That's crazy. So yeah, this article, guys, is just basically talking about Canada. I thought that was pretty neat. The study shows that smoking cannabis doesn't do anything good to your lungs, so you should probably stay off of it while this whole coronavirus thing is going around, because we know that it's attacking the lungs. It's upper respiratory. SARS is part of this COVID thing that attacks the lungs. So definitely something to keep in mind. I know one thing, bro. I couldn't taste or smell for about a week and a half. I'm still getting my taste back. But man, I couldn't smoke a cigar because I couldn't taste it. It seemed like I was smoking air. So
Why?
Because when I was sick, when I had the corona, I lost my taste and smell.
You had the corona?
Yeah.
Shut up.
I swear.
Man.
It's been 3 weeks. 3-4 weeks now.
You got tested.
My wife did.
No, did you get tested?
No, I didn't get tested. My wife did. She's positive. I was in quarantine with her for 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what happened? I mean, so every one of you guys are okay.
Yeah, we're
Is
good.
it as deadly? Is it as deadly as people say it is?
It is. We know. She knows. A couple of her coworkers died. I'm talking about from your experience, from your own personal experience. How bad was the whole ordeal? It was the worst. It's not a flu, right? But if I had to compare it to a flu, it's the worst flu I've ever had. Like if I had to compare it to a flu, it's the worst I've had. Okay. So it just drains you. I actually did a video. I'll be putting it out probably Monday for you guys. I go through my whole corona experience. My wife tells her side and what she's going through, and she's still recovering from it. It hit her pretty badly. But my stepfather is still in the hospital from it. He tested positive. He's doing better. He's good. It's not like he's on ventilators or anything like that. But it's a tough virus if you get it. And you have symptoms, it's going to be about a 3-week thing, bro. Up and down. You get better, then you get worse. It's the weirdest thing ever. You get better, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm getting better. Then you get worse. And then you get better again, and you get worse. And it's just like crazy. So I lost my sense of smell. My wife lost her sense of smell and taste. I lost taste and smell. My daughter lost taste and smell. And I couldn't taste my cigars, man. So I just stopped smoking for a while.
Hey, yo,
is it slowly coming back?
It's slowly coming back. It's still not 100%. I say I'm like at 80%.
Dang. Wait, so is that your taste or is that your smell at 80%? Both? Oh, man.
Yeah, both.
Yo, that's vicious.
Yeah. So
hey,
I'm good though. I'm good though. Like I'm good.
Hey, CB, just in case, bro. If something does happen to you, I can take over your show if you really want me to.
Hey, speaking of which, John Kim, you got a question in the audience. You got a super chat, actually.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that. Thank you. Yeah, let's talk about that, bro.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. So you got a super chat. They're saying they've spent some moolah on this one too, boy. He wanted to make sure this got through.
Yeah.
He says here, look, John, Charlie Lee sold at the top. Do you consider that convenient or shady as all get out? I want to get behind Litecoin, but Charlie Lee's move was shady. I will not get behind it now. It's a club coin. Not sure what the club coin part means, but what are your thoughts? I mean, I already know you've answered this question so many times, but go ahead and
Okay, so
Tell
I'm
the
gonna
audience.
answer it once and for all. Okay, I work very closely with Charlie. I'm in a situation where I can contact him any time of day, and if he's not sleeping, and we're talking, right? He's probably one of the few people that I have total access to, and I've spent many hours with him, right? Another country, conferences, just chilling, whatever, right? Visited him in where he lives, not his house, but like we go out. So I'm a good judge of character, and I believe that if it, that you can fake it for 3 months, but it
Right.
starts to your real self oozes out. Six
Yep.
months, it's the cover's blown. A year later, you're just gonna show your true colors.
That's why
That being said,
that's how relationship that's relationship advice for all you people out there too. Your woman,
mhm,
don't marry her 3 months, 6 months in. Okay, wait couple years.
Yep. Go.
yes,
Wait a couple years. Yeah, no, that's facts. I met Charlie Lee the first time I met you. That was the first time I
yeah.
met Charlie Lee. We all talked, and like you said, I can just feel the vibe. He's a genuine guy, and the crazy thing is though, the guy that sent the super chat, his name is Count the Money Crypto. Count the Money. Look, man, he told you in advance to sell yourself. How is that crooked? The man told you to sell too.
Okay, so let me finish what I was gonna say to count the money. Okay, so I'm just telling you. I'm not telling you how Charlie is from an article. I'm telling you how Charlie is in real life, in long
Right.
hours and hours of knowing him and engaging with him. Number one, Mr. Count the Money. Did all the other coins go down with Litecoin? That's the question I want to ask people. Did Charlie cause the bear market of 2008, 2018? No, he did not, right? It was just a cycle. The bull market ended. We entered into a bear market. Every coin went down 90%. Litecoin went down 80%. Bitcoin went down 70%.
That's a good
So,
point. Yeah.
so you cannot blame Charlie Lee for causing the 2018 bear market. So that's number one. Number two, his main goal, his relationship with Litecoin isn't like your relationship or my relationship with Litecoin. He created it. He has a special bond with Litecoin. It's his creation. It's like his child, right? And in order for Litecoin to succeed, and he said this plenty of times, is to be decentralized. Charlie cannot be a central point of failure. And his goal from the beginning was to remove himself from the project when the time came, right? So he removed himself. Now, here's number three. Ever since he sold, and just like Crypto Blood said, he told everyone, if you're not ready for Litecoin to go down to $20, you should not be in this market right now.
Yep.
Why did he say that? Because he's been in this market since 2011. He have seen every crash and went through every bull market, and he knows the volatility of a speculative asset like Bitcoin and Litecoin.
Yep.
Now, what I've seen after he sold, right? He does more for Litecoin than what he did prior. Because prior he was working at Coinbase. His focus was on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the exchange, and Litecoin was just a small part of it. Now he's retired, he doesn't work, but he works full-time for Litecoin, which means the UFC sponsorship, the K-pop, car dealers, everything that you heard about Litecoin was funded primarily by Charlie Lee. So he's not only funding Litecoin development, Litecoin marketing and everything Litecoin, he's literally focusing everything on making sure that Litecoin becomes silver to Bitcoin's gold, right? So I just laid out every reason why you shouldn't ask me this question anymore. But since you paying my boy $20, I'm gonna answer it to the best of my ability. Because if my boy can't have none, it ain't no fun, you know.
Yo, so thanks. No, that's perfect, man. And count the money. Like for me, you wanted my take on it as well. I agree with Kim almost 90%. The only thing I don't agree with is this is a possibility that I see with that whole thing. I think honestly, and not on purpose, but I think in Charlie Lee being sincere and being honest the way I think he is as a person, as a character, him telling you guys, look, if you're not willing to wait and hold this bad boy when it's at $20, then you need to get out. I think he actually sparked the bear market personally, because he is a big he's like next to the anonymous Bitcoin person. We don't know who made Bitcoin, right? But he's like the next person in line. Like he's the first altcoin. So to see a figurehead like Charlie Lee say that, I think he actually kind of kicked off the bear market. That's just my opinion. It was
I gotta disagree.
It was gonna prick. It was going to crash. He was the catalyst, in my opinion.
No. Okay, Mt. Gox. Mt. Gox was all right. Everybody knows it. Mt. Gox Japan had to pay back the people affected by Mt. Gox. All right, there were reparations for that hack. Yeah, man.
It didn't line up. It literally, like, Charlie Lee was the top. Like when he came out with that, that's when that was like the top. Literally, he sold it.
Okay, so when was that? December, right?
Yeah, that was December.
Yeah,
I was
December.
mining. I was mining.
So it was in December 2017.
Yeah.
And in 2018, the price was still going up and down, right? And this bear market ensued afterwards. I don't think any one human being in crypto can trigger a massive bear market. There's no way. There's no way. Not one person. And Charlie Lee didn't have that much Litecoin. Everybody thinks he had like millions of Litecoin. He didn't have that much Litecoin.
But it's the perception. Regardless, it doesn't matter because he never told us, right? He gifted that to a foundation, his nonprofit or whatever. But it's the perception, in my opinion, that really spooked people. We were already really high, and I think personally that was.
No, you're like see. Hey, can I be honest? I thought Charlie Lee, when he tweeted that, I thought he was a stupid guy. Because everybody believed, because the sentiment at that time, Litecoin was going to go to 1,000.
Yes. Okay? I agree.
Everybody believed. So
except me, I didn't agree. I didn't think it was going that high. But yeah, you're right. Majority of people, absolutely.
Yeah, so Bitcoin was going to go to 30, 40,000. Litecoin was going to go 1,000.
Yep.
Bitcoin Cash was up to 1,600.
That's crazy.
Ethereum was at over 1,000.
1,300.
And
yep.
When you're on that kind of a high, a little Charlie Lee telling you, hey, let me rein in the excitement. There could be a 90% drop.
That was classic.
Nobody listened to him.
And I know they didn't listen to him. And then when it happened, they blamed him.
Yeah, they blamed, exactly.
They said you can't please everybody. That was my. I mean, I look back at it like, damn, you can't. The guy told you. Yeah. That it was probably gonna go lower, and y'all still blamed him for it. Like, get out of here, man.
It's bullshit. He understands the historical indicators, bro. Like, honestly, and the people that were getting out, like, they just were along for the ride, man. They knew exactly when to get out. They just knew. And I'm not for sure if you guys knew this, man, but the hash rate back then was popping. Like, people were mining, and like it was nobody else's business, bro. Like, we're talking like terahashes on that script network. It was ridiculous.
Yep, fact.
So,
that's fact. No, that's cool. Thanks for the question there. Count the crypto or make the crypto. I don't know what is it, count the money crypto. Thanks for the question, bro. Thanks for the question. So,
if anyone else has a $20 question, I'm trying to support my boy Blood. I'll answer. And if you want me to take off my pants and show proof that Asian people got a big wang, I'll do it too.
Oh man, Chuck, man, this guy John Kim is hilarious. I'm glad I had him on to now, people. So look, we're gonna talk about one last crypto topic, which is this whole central bank digital currency situation. This article out of Bitcoin is, and I've been talking about the central bank stuff. A lot of people have for a while. I know it's coming. Everyone kind of sees the writing on the wall. This particular person, I think he works for Deutsche Bank. He's an analyst over there. He told Reuters that the central banks have been having meetings regarding this, and they were supposed to have a meeting recently. I don't know if it was canceled because of situation with the pandemic going on, but he told them that it's coming in the next 3 years. Within the next 3 years, they're ready to roll this thing out. The rush is caused by the current, let me pull this up, the current COVID-19 pandemic. So, hey, I don't know. In January, it said this year, Bitcoin has reported that the European Central Bank, along with the central banks of Canada, England, Japan, Switzerland, and Sweden, had formed a think tank to create CBDCs along with the BIS, Bank of International Settlement. That's huge. This group represents 1.5 billion of the world's population. It's coming. It's coming, John Kim. How do you think this plays into what altcoins and cryptocurrencies that are not governed by these central banks? How is Litecoin going to react to something like this when they roll this out? I think it's coming. What's going to happen with Litecoin in your opinion?
I think truly decentralized, censorship-resistant money is going to go up. Yeah, okay, so this is what people don't get. Whenever I tweet this, nobody likes it because they don't get it.
Okay.
Let me ask you this in conjunction with this article.
Okay.
Why is Bitcoin a success? What is the main thing that makes Bitcoin successful? What is the main thing that makes Bitcoin useful? What is the main thing why Bitcoin is a winner? Just one thing.
Byzantine fault tolerance?
No,
it's not. It's not Byzantine. It's not fully Byzantine fault tolerant though.
Well, what is it?
I personally think it's. You want to be honest with you? It's a superficial reason in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think because we don't know who created it. Like if tomorrow we found out that John Kim created Bitcoin, the mystique, the whole mystique around this cryptocurrency would go away. And I don't know, like, I think that's kind of the mystery behind it. We don't know who created it. Of course, it's decentralized. But that one point to me, John, is that no one knows who created this, what entity, whatever. If tomorrow that came out, I think a lot of the mystique around Bitcoin would go away.
Okay. So this is what most of the maxis know. This is the true believers in Bitcoin know this. The only reason, and there's nothing in this world that can compete with it, is the fact that Bitcoin is censorship resistant money. Mm-hmm. That's it. Mm-hmm. It does that the best. No one can compete with it. It is the only reason that Bitcoin is wildly a success, because it proved to the world there can be a censorship resistant money that can exist. Okay. Now hear me out. In America, when you send money, not many people are getting censored. Right? Whenever you use your bank account, whatever, everybody talks about censorship resistant. But in America, that doesn't really matter because none of your funds are really getting censored. All of us, we have a bank account and a few of us get censored, but most of us, we don't have any issues with sending digital cash.
That's because we sending $5 around.
Exactly.
Start sending $1 million. No, you got to get some clearance. They're going to call you. The bank's calling you. You got to fill out a form, yada, yada, yada. Yeah. But yeah, I get you. Absolutely.
Okay, well, what about this? What Chainalysis is doing with blacklisting wallets and tracking private keys. Wouldn't you say that that's a form of censorship? Excuse me?
Yeah. How do you feel about that, John?
I mean, that's wallets though, right? Yeah. We're talking about there's not always going to be
just wallets, the keys, the actual like the Bitcoin itself, like the keys
they would have to have the keys though. You're talking about like on exchanges.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a different situation though, right, John? I mean, not your not your keys, not your
Yeah. If you memorize 12 word or 24 word, you have your private keys. You can be anywhere in the world, and you have access to your funds. It is the only time in history that any form of money that has value has become censorship resistant. So all the argument behind what makes Bitcoin awesome or valuable, that's all debatable. But Bitcoin is the king of censorship resistant money. It's the only time ever in history that a government, that a country, that are powerful and the rich cannot censor or control a payment going through. And that is the one thing that Bitcoin does best. That's why we don't need faster block times. What we need to do is build a freaking wall around the Bitcoin protocol and just allow it to be censorship resistant first, and let the second layer be that protocol that makes payments and everything fast. But we need to protect the censorship resistance of Bitcoin, because that is the one thing that it does best, and that is the one thing that nobody can compete.
Yo, John, did you just endorse second layer protocol like Lightning just
network?
now? Yeah, man.
Not.
Did you just do
No,
that?
no, the Flexa network
All right.
Okay.
with
I got
Speed
you,
and Gemini Pay.
All right.
Oh,
It makes
gotcha,
sense.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No,
Hey, listen, I can go all day about second layer solution. That is a theory, Lightning Network, and what works right now at Nordstrom and 30,000 retail stores just with a scan.
Right. No, I feel you, man. That makes sense. I like that frame of reference, that frame of thinking. I think that's absolutely true. But the thing,
And that's
go ahead.
CB, that's why nobody can compete with Ethereum.
Mm-hmm.
Because Ethereum was first to market, right? And it did what it did, and it was the first time that people saw smart contract. That's why Ethereum can't compete with Bitcoin, but Bitcoin can't compete with Ethereum, because Ethereum has this first to market in the smart contract area. Everybody's trying to say we're the Ethereum killer, just like everyone said we're the Bitcoin killer. We're better, faster, bigger. But Bitcoin is king in censorship resistant money, and Ethereum right now is king when it comes to smart contracts. Everybody can try to compete with it.
Yeah, but like I said though, bro, if we knew tomorrow without a shadow of a doubt, like there was full proof who made Bitcoin, that
Still censorship resistant.
That premium, what I'm saying is that premium that we have on Bitcoin being at what, 7,000, 6,800, whatever right now, versus Litecoin being at whatever it's at, 40 something dollars. That gap is, to me, a lot of that gap is because we don't know who made it. So, because if you look at it technically, Litecoin is better than Bitcoin. It's faster. I pay my virtual private network, my VPS, virtual private server with Litecoin. It literally pays it instantly.
True.
Right?
Facts.
But
Big facts. Not only that, Litecoin is also building a smart contract layer on top. On top
of it being the member
but check
Wimble.
it out.
And then
So
we got member Wimble too.
Bro.
So that's what I'm
man.
saying. A lot of the premium in Bitcoin is literally because we don't know who made it. I'm telling y'all.
No, but it doesn't change the fact that it's censorship resistant money.
But so is Litecoin.
Yeah.
No. Look, I love Litecoin. You know how much I love, I eat, sleep, breathe Litecoin, but Litecoin can't even hold a candle to the true security and censorship resistance of Bitcoin. If I was moving 100,
I think he's talking on the basis of the hash power and the algorithm within itself. That's what he's touching base on.
We're looking at
the math is there. What he's saying.
Listen, we're looking at $13,000 to attack Litecoin. It's probably number 3 right now. It just passed, Ethereum is higher than Litecoin, and Bitcoin we're looking at about $500,000 to $800,000 per hour to attack the network. So everybody talks about, okay, listen, this is really important. Everybody talks about speed, but the most important thing is a thing called settlement assurance. One block of Bitcoin is far more secure than 5,000 blocks of Ethereum Classic. So sending money over the Bitcoin protocol is probably the most secure way of sending money. If I were to send $1 million, 100%, I would pick 2 coins. It would be Bitcoin first, even though I'm a Litecoin guy, because it's $1 million, a lot of money. I want to make sure that it gets there. Nobody,
right?
And then it would be Litecoin. Yeah, and I would never spend more than $1,000 sending $1,000 on any other network, because although it's fast, the settlement assurance takes years compared to Bitcoin's 1 hour. So people miss that. Settlement assurance, the most important thing is when it comes to transferring a lot amount of money, and Bitcoin is the king, and no one even comes close to being second. That's why Bitcoin is success because it's the most secure and censorship resistant.
Yeah, but like Jimmy Bag says here, but when Litecoin grows up, and that's what I'm saying, like it's that way now because it's almost like the chicken and the egg situation. Like which comes first, stronger hash power or or more usage? Like I think the premium is in the fact that we don't know who created it. It's censorship resistant, like you said, but that fact that we don't know who created it really to me is a big one.
It's a trade-off. Bitcoin will always be store value.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be a payment.
Right.
Litecoin will be a store of value / means of exchange. That's what gives Litecoin value. The higher the royalty of Bitcoin becomes, as it becomes the emperor, Litecoin's identity becomes stronger because people are going to hoard it and they're not going to spend it.
Gotcha. One last thing to put you on the spot, bro. I know you can handle it, so that's why I'm putting you on the spot. Before we get to this caller, I know you got to go in like 10 minutes. So he's got another engagement, guys. He's doing. What are you doing, by the way, tonight?
I have a live stream show on my Twitter called Masked Influencer, to where we have a mystery guest and they make a homemade mask. And the audience
nice.
have to figure out who they are.
Oh, okay, sweet. So he's doing that at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Yeah. Really quickly, man, what's going on? I gotta one of my people down in Texas sent me a video yesterday of your boy J Snitch 4 talking about my main man Bitcoin Ben.
Man.
What the hell is going on, bro? I got kind of upset about that.
Yeah,
what's going on with that?
So he called out Bix Weir,
Yep.
Cliff High,
Yep.
and Bitcoin Ben.
Yep.
Honestly, dude, I was eating my popcorn, just watching. But all of them, except for Cliff High, I never met him. But all of them are my friends, and they're good people, right? They have their own shows and different theories about things, but that's one thing I don't want to get in the middle of. I don't want to say anything because all three of them used to be friends or still friends, but they have a disagreement. But Jay Snip is a Q supporter, Trump supporter. And he just thinks that, a lot of the things that Bitcoin Ben and Big Sphere has been saying is not correct. And it's been proven to be incorrect. And he's just calling them out.
But bro, I understand you don't want to talk about it in too much detail, but look, man, he was getting very disrespectful with my man.
Yeah, very. I mean, it was pretty bad. I couldn't believe it.
I could. I told y'all years ago this fool was an egghead, but
you don't like Jay Snip for?
No.
Okay.
I never have. No. I got real issues with him. So to see him go at Bitcoin Ben like that, and I have, I don't really care too much for Cliff High anymore either. The way things kind of happened between me and him, how he kind of disappeared and stuff when things kind of hit the fan. And I was just pointing out some things that, hey, you said this in your report, and now you're saying this, But so I'm not even on Bix. That's my guy. Like I love Bix and his crazy theories, whatever. That's fine. Bitcoin being his crazy theories, that's fine. Like I don't agree with most of their stuff, but they're still, I would consider, friends, right? Colleagues that definitely support. So that was just crazy to see that. I think my man Count the Money said something about Jay Snip. That's why I had to ask. I brought that up.
I think everything that has to do with like calling people out in public, although it sounds very a good thing, a nice thing, or justice, right? But I think a lot of it has to do with ego. Whoever's more right, and you have to prove to the people that you're more right than they are. But I know Bitcoin Ben, he always takes the high road. He tweeted, Team Snippy.
More power to. I don't know how he did that, bro. You know how black people, we get violent. I would have been.
But you know what? Bitcoin Ben he's up there in age, and he's dealt with a lot of people, so he's very cool, calm, and collected when it comes to confrontation. Yeah, he is.
I credits to him for that one, bro. So let's get this caller before you get out of here. I know you got a couple minutes. You may have to dip out. Caller on the line, Support Crypto Blood. We've got John Kim, Litecoin Kim, on with us tonight. Who's calling in?
It's Rob from Hunger for Knowledge.
Rob, how are you tonight, man?
Good, how are you?
Good.
So the one thing on Dave J. Snippy there, I used to, long time ago, listen to him. And like I stopped listening to him the day he made all that money off of Veritasium. And then he got that house. And then, as soon as he got that house, he asked the subscribers to donate money to buy him an ATV for the golf cart.
I know.
Like that was the final straw. Like, dude, come on now. Like,
that was crazy.
I actually slept at his house.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
So, what question you have for John Kim tonight? Because he's got to run. If you got one for him.
Okay. Well, I don't really have a question, but like kind of I wanted to kind of say something about JP Morgan Chase and like what he was saying at the beginning and how they're all corrupt and stuff. Like 6 months ago, and nobody talks about it anymore, but they got busted with like a shipload of like $1.3 billion worth of cocaine, like on their cargo ship.
Yes.
Like
yes. Did you know about that, John Kim?
I heard about it, but I don't know the details.
Yeah, nobody went to jail. Nobody says anything, talks about it anymore. No nothing. No fines. No, like these are the things that would go on, and you just like shake your head, and nobody talks about it. Just like the fines, like you were talking about earlier, all the fines, and so I was just kind of like wanted to.
So
like,
Rob, man, when are we gonna wake up as a nation? Because we're getting to the point, bro, like this latest bailout, this CARES Act. And again, guys, I tell you all the time, whatever the government says, you just reverse it. You take the inverse. We do a little algebra real quick. So if they say it's CARES Act, you take 1 over CARES Act, and that gives you they don't care Act. That's what it is. So they got a lot of backdoor deals going on with the Treasury and the Fed merging, and man, what are we gonna get mad this time? Are we gonna pitchforks to the street this time? Is that gonna happen?
I hope so, because look at Boeing. They get corporate welfare, and then they make money left and right, and then as soon as there's some kind of we still don't know what happened when they had all the 737s crashing and stuff. There was some funkiness going on there.
Absolutely.
And now, all of a sudden they need a bailout. I gotta pay for them. My kids gotta pay for them to get a bailout. And all these other airlines, these airlines don't pay people living wages. So, and then people work for the airlines have to claim welfare. So then they're working for the airlines, they claim welfare, and then so now I'm paying out my tax money for the welfare system and for the corporate welfare system for Boeing, and then when there's a bailout, I got to pay for them for the bailout too. It's just like the system is just so corrupt, and what's the solution? We can all point these things out, but at the end of the day, what's the solution? That's what we got to figure out. Trump, I know you support Trump, but you got to wonder all these things, all these people involved, that come up to that podium every day. Trump, that drug he's pushing.
I support Trump to a certain extent. Like I said, I point out if you're doing wrong, I gotta point it out, bro. I'm not gonna blindly follow anybody. I'm just
I hear you. But he's also that drug he's pushing. He has stake in one of the companies that produces that drug.
Yeah, okay, on that one, I know you got to go, John Kim. I appreciate. Let's all give a round of applause to my man John Kim for coming on tonight, man. I really appreciate you coming on. I'm gonna have to definitely have you back on, man. So salute to you, man, for coming on tonight. Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks everyone for supporting Crypto Blood. He's one of the realest people out there. He tells you like it is. Sometimes, even between me and him, a lot of people just agree with me, but he always gives me what he feels and what his opinion is. And I think as an objective reporter, a critical reporter, that's very important, and that's what's missing with United States journalism right now. So support CB, follow him on Twitter, subscribe, like his YouTube channel, because I believe a lot of the fake people are going away because they are being exposed to be, someone that takes and takes and takes without giving back. But I don't think Crypto Blood is one of those people. He's going to last a long time. So support him. He's the real deal. And I'm so blessed to be able to come and share my heart with you guys. So Litecoin all the way. Litecoin is the right coin. John Kim is the man on Twitter. So follow him.
Yeah. All right, man. Appreciate it, John. I'll talk to you, bro.
All right, bro.
Okay. So back to what you were saying, though, man. Here's my thing with this whole situation. I just feel like we need to hit like critical mass. And when I say critical mass, we need to hit critical mass in the sense of we need enough people to wake up, enough people who like follow me, who a lot of my followers, most of them are awakened individuals. They know what's going on. Like, we need more people to wake up and get pissed. Like, I don't think we have enough people that's pissed, man.
We don't. I don't understand. I mean, there's enough, like, even if you don't even get into a conspiracy end of it, there's enough in your face, reports, and you can go on to anything and see what they're doing financially. I mean, I'm assuming, I'm pretty sure the banks got their money already, and everybody's sitting around waiting for the $1,200 check.
Exactly. The banks absolutely got their money. The day it was inked. The ink. Look, the ink didn't even dry, bro. They got their money wired to them. And you know what? You bring up a good point, Rob, because here's another thing. I was talking to my buddy today, and he's like, Canada, they're already distributing their stimulus checks to the individuals over there. UK, they've already distributed theirs. How in the world? And this is what I'm saying, bro. We're supposed to be the best country in the world. I'm not sipping the Kool-Aid, but that's what the propaganda is telling us, and a lot of people in America feel the same way, man. And maybe this is the tipping point where we kind of wake up. What do you think?
I mean, I hope the other thing with Canada is not just one-time check either. Canada's doing multiple checks. So I've been trying. I haven't had time to look into the small business deal, but the things I saw about all the small business deal too was it's like a big fiasco. A lot of these companies aren't going to be able to get their money, and they're going to end up going out of business because it's just too long. So like I said, when you look at when people, I try and like talk to people, but people, you have the amount of people you talk to is different than the amount of people I talk to. I have a small circle. But like the small circle I have, I don't understand why they don't get more upset. But 5 years from now, they'll be complaining that their taxes went up.
Yeah.
And then I'll say, well, you should have thought, 5 years ago when I was telling you about all this stuff going on, that was our time to stand up,
So dig this. I didn't know. This is crazy. I just found out yesterday that in this CARES Act, they now, meaning the Treasury and the Federal Reserve, now has the ability to have secret meetings. They don't have to report any minutes. There are no minutes in these meetings. We won't know anything about what they're doing, bro. Like, this is like, I just don't understand.
To listen to Catherine Austin Fitz.
I haven't seen her in a while, but yeah.
She was talking about this happened, I think 5-6 months ago. They passed this thing called FASB 51. And in FASB 51, basically, they can do whatever they want financially in the background and don't have to report on it. So that was already going on. Like that, what they did, what you're talking about, that was already going on for months. This is like, all these people that get like the lady, the Dr. Bricks, whatever her name is, she's like, her daughter's on the foundation with Bill Gates, the food, whatever his name, Fucci or whatever. He's on foundation for one of Bill Gates. Like, they're kind of all like all this. I can do a simple search and find these things out. Like, I don't understand. We got like 100%, like you said, like. This is them taking advantage of a scenario that,
Oh yeah, this is a wet dream for them, bro. This is they're loving this.
But this is I was reading this funny thing. you know how you're talking about China, how we're getting mad at China? You know, they just put them on the Human Rights Court just this week.
And so this is what I'm saying. Like, all the Trump supporters are diehard Trump fans.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about that? How do you
saying.
justify and explain that?
I don't get it. I mean, there's a lot of Trump supporters, I think, that think this is a hoax, or think this is like, if your mindset is that this is a hoax, or let's say you just think they're over-reporting things. That's the thing I saw. They're over-reporting things, right? Okay, fine. That means your government is over-reporting to you, making up lies to make you stay in your house. Why are you not out in the street? That's your mind. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't get it, man.
Yeah.
Don't get it.
No, I hear the frustration in your voice, man. I'm the same way. I don't even know what to do anymore. They're not over-reporting. I tell you that much. Just from in my own eyes and experiencing going through COVID, right? And then my whole family going through COVID. Like, all my family got it, tested positive,
Yep.
had the symptoms, going through it for 3-4 weeks. What they're underreporting is the not saying like, okay, I don't want to sound like, okay, you catch the virus, you're gonna die, but I think they're underplaying the death rate. I think it's more like 2%, 3%. Which is still not end of the world, but because it spreads so easily, that's going to cause tens of millions of people over 2-3 years, whatever it may be, to die from this if they don't come up with a vaccine in time. So I think they're kind of underreporting some of the severity of it, and firsthand having the virus, I'm telling people that they're definitely underreporting the symptoms and the whole, like, how long and drawn out this thing is. We did some contact tracing on our own. We sat down and figured out kind of where we think it started. We think it began with our daughter. That was 5.5 weeks ago.
Wow.
She had the dizzy spells and all this stuff 5.5 weeks ago, bro. They're not telling people. So that window of, wanting to open up the country and do all that, I hope they understand the real stats and understand what people are going through, because we're still, like, it's going on 5.5 weeks, bro, and we're still having symptoms. It's not.
Well, did you see that cruise ship that started, like, the Princess whatever? They still have like 10 people in critical condition. And how long ago was that?
Oh, really? I didn't know that. From the one from Japan?
The Princess, I forget what it was called.
Oh, yeah, the one, like, Princess Diamond or whatever in Japan, right?
Yeah, they started this whole. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
At the beginning, they still have 10 people in critical condition.
I didn't know that.
Like, how long ago was that? I mean, the severity of, and then I think we're in trouble food-wise too, because there was just a report today. There's a meat packer, 100 in Hazleton, PA, which is like 2 hours from me. They had 150 people test positive that work at the plant. Mm-hmm. Now, what are we gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, I just don't think the severity is I don't know. Maybe I'm just too far out there. I don't know, but
like I said, man, I don't know either. The virus is definitely real. It's not the flu. It's way worse than the flu. Like I said, my wife knows 3 people personally who have died from this. 3 people personally who have died from this. And the death rates, to tell you this really quick, not to mean to cut you off, and I have another caller I want to get to, but the death rates are actually underreported, because what's happening is the guy that she knows who passed away maybe 3 weeks ago, he worked in the hospital with her. He literally just one day had pneumonia and died. That person is not going to get an autopsy unless their family at that point probably didn't know what was really going on with the COVID. So they have to request an autopsy to really go in and dive deeper to see and have the body tested for COVID. He's going to go under as reported as dying from pneumonia, acute pneumonia. Yeah. He's not going to go on for COVID.
I mean, the Spanish flu had a mortality rate of like 3.5 or something, I think it was. So, I mean, like, it killed 50 million people, you know?
Right. And
I'm not saying
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think that. Well, man, if the United States don't get their act together and start taking this a little bit more seriously, then we may get near those numbers. I think with today's technology, we won't get that far, even with the death rate near that, right? But
yeah, 3.5%. You don't think?
Nah,
I mean,
I don't know.
I checked
Maybe.
in the numbers, and in the last week, if you go by just the reported numbers, I mean, we've gone from a death rate of like a little under 1 to 3% now in like a week and a half. So either they're starting to report it more.
No, but the thing is, you got to remember, Rob, this is the only thing about the death rate that's being tallied, and that the official one right now is the death rate is going to be over-reported because it's most likely a little bit more people that have the virus, so that denominator is going to be bigger.
That's true. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah. No, you're right.
So I think the death rate right now is probably like 1.5, 1.8.
Yeah.
Here in Michigan and Detroit, it's higher. It's higher because the people here in my city, they have comorbidities. They tend to not take care of their health as great in Detroit. So it's a couple more factors that they're going to add to that kind of creeps that death rate up a little bit.
Did you see what's happened in Ecuador?
Yes, I did.
No,
that's sad, man. That is sad. People go look on YouTube, Ecuador COVID cases, and you'll see a video, man. They're not picking up the dead bodies from the people that are and the bodies are just sitting in the house, rotting. They're and they're having to wrap the coffins in saran wrap or whatever to keep the stench down, and the families. It's bad, man. It's bad.
And then they got mass graves. They're digging mass graves in New York.
Yes, they are. Tell me how that's a hoax, people. You got people from all across the country, nurses and doctors going up to New York to help. They're getting $10,000 a week to go help up in there in New York City because of the cases. That's not a hoax, people. I'm sorry. I'm not a hoax. I went through it. I know people that. My wife knows people that have died. I know people that have it. I have it. My mom, my stepfather, my father-in-law, my mother-in-law, like my nephew. So it's real, people.
No, I know people that had it too. And I got one more thing. I think what we're talking about, like why some of these countries are scared to tell the real numbers because they're afraid that they're going to get attacked. Like this is some like war stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I think some of these, like Iran's not going to tell you the real numbers. China's not going to tell you the real numbers because if they show any kind of weakness, they may be afraid of getting attacked and somebody taking advantage of that. So I think some of these countries, like Iran, they're saying I've seen reports of millions of people being dead in Iran. So I mean, I think that's there's a big consideration of that. People don't want to look weak. I mean, look at us. We're trying to go and attack Venezuela for some ungodly reason. Who knows what? Well, we know because they have the most oil in the country, in the world. That's why. But
yeah, they have really good. They have really good, high quality oil coming out of Venezuela. Jimmy Bags, you a fool, bro. Jimmy Bags says heart attack. They call it COVID. Stroke, it's COVID. Drowned, it's COVID. Hit by a train, it's COVID. Eaten by a bear, it's COVID. No, I don't think so, bro. It's real, bro. I'm trying to tell y'all. It is real.
It's all fun and games. It's all fun and games until it affects somebody in your family.
That's when it's going to happen, man. And people have to realize, what I would be concerned about is if COVID popped up everywhere at the same time. It's spreading just like a virus would. It's not going to affect every place at the same time at the same severity. So you're going to have hot spots pop up.
Well, and the spots you expect are the spots that are popping up. Right.
I predicted. Yeah, I mean, I go back on Twitter.
Yeah, I remember he said on Twitter, he's like, it's getting real because it's in New York or something to that effect. Like,
no, man, I said that New York City would be Wuhan 2.0, and I said that back in early February before I think they had maybe one case. They're not even a death. They just had one case. It just use common sense. You just use common sense, people. It's not that I have some magical power. I said, we have a virus that has an R naught of 4, 5, 6, possibly, depending on how well the health system or the people that over, these cities deal with it. You have an R naught of 5, 6 in a densely populated city like New York City that's not taking it seriously as Wuhan did, locking down people. Oh, Wuhan 2.0. Easy.
Yeah.
Called that from a mile away.
How is it that we're getting all these masks? The government says we're getting all these masks, but I keep seeing all these reports of people like wearing baggies in the hospital, like trash bags and stuff. Like it's I don't understand. Somebody's not telling the truth. You know what I mean?
Man, listen, this is what I'm hearing. I'm gonna get to the next caller, but we're having a good conversation. This is what I'm hearing, and actually my wife told me this happened before she got sick and was kind of not going into work. They didn't know who, but I'm hearing reports online that FEMA is intercepting.
I heard that too.
Shipments to these hospitals, bro. And my wife was like, "Yeah, we had a whole bunch of stuff come in, but then all of a sudden, they didn't know what happened to it. This was many weeks ago, so they didn't know what had happened to their shipment. FEMA coming in taking stuff, man. What is going on?
So why are they taking stuff?
Exactly.
Like, what are stockpiles for?
Exactly.
So are they are we worried about the second wave? Like, I mean, this is like we're not even to we're just on the coast. Like the coast of everything is bad, right? Where we're connected. California was expected, New York's expected, but we didn't even get to the heartland of the country yet.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I mean, I don't know. My hope is that, obviously this goes away, but the fact that we're struggling and we have, in my opinion, the leadership has been terrible. Terrible.
Leadership has been absolutely horrific, bro. From President Trump initially, he was just the worst. Like he caused, I think, a lot more damage the first 2 months or whatever, trying to keep people calm, whatever he was trying to do. Either he didn't want to believe it or he thought it was Democrats, whatever the case is, he didn't act on it. So that was his fault. You got the CDC, horrible. They need to be dismantled. I don't know what the hell they're doing down there in Atlanta. What are y'all doing down there? Y'all got all these scientists, virologists and pathologists and ologists, this and that, and you guys couldn't even... You telling people not to wear a mask?
Yeah. Yeah. I sent you that video of when I did that mask. Like, I did that in my garage, and I spent like $20. I sent you a thing on Twitter.
Oh, that was you. Okay, yeah. Okay, that was you. Nice. Yeah, I saw that video.
I spent like $20. I'm like, this cost me $20 to do, and I'm just Joe Schmo in the middle of nowhere. Like, and you have people making hundreds of thousands of dollars, the CDC, and what is their excuse? I mean, imagine if Trump would have came out the first day, how this would have played out. Trump comes out and says, like, beginning of February, like right around when they said don't wear masks, and he comes out in a mask. Now, this was caused panic, though. That's the problem, I think. But if he came out in a mask and said, listen, everybody, we're trying to control this, and it's very important for you guys to wear masks. Where do you think we'd be now? You think, we'd have a better chance of fighting this off and less people dying?
Yeah, I don't know, man. My man, Crypto King USN, I think he's out in Japan, I believe. He's saying that he thinks that, he's saying that hospitals get $40,000 a head per COVID patient, basically, and that's why they're putting that, all these people have COVID. I don't agree with that one, bro. Because again, I'm gonna explain to you on the ground. This is on the ground firsthand. They are having to send people with cancer that were supposed to have surgery for cancer. They're having them. They're pushing their cancer surgeries off by weeks and months, and just putting them on additional chemo because there's not enough room. They're turning the ORs into taking in COVID patients, man. This is not like the knock-on effects. I don't think people, because they're they're not seeing it firsthand, and I can understand because you're not seeing it firsthand. You can kind of write it off a little bit, but once you see it and the effects on your economy, on your local area, on your family, then you'll start to kind of come around to it and see it's a serious situation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. But thanks for the call, Rob, man. Definitely call in again. Great conversation.
Thanks, man.
All right. All right, it's your boy Crypto Blood. Thanks for waiting, man. That was a long wait. I appreciate the wait. Who's calling in?
Man, it's the O-Flow Show, bro.
O-Flow Show. What's going on? Let me lick a shot for him real quick. O-Flow in the house. What's going on, bro?
Man, I'm just sending you a lot of love, positive energy, just like, the goodness of whatever the universe can throw your way. I'm just sending it to you, man. So just wish you the best in health for you and your family overall. And yeah, I kind of got into the show a little bit late today. I've been just, on my grind, but wow. I'm seeing so much going on overall in the world, and I'm laughing, but it's really not funny. We're literally at that stage where it's serious. It's no joke and no going back. It's not gonna.
So let people know, O-Flow is in Argentina, right?
Yeah.
What's going on down there in Argentina with this whole situation right now?
To be honest with you, it sounds like it's worse where you're at than out here. That's the crazy thing.
Well, Michigan is number 3 in the country.
Yeah. They're taking it serious here, and they're taking it serious here. Like the entire capital is shut down, but because of bureaucracy and the fallacies of human beings, like they've done some stupid things. Like one of the big things was there's like the pensions. And opposed to doing it like digitally or figuring a way to get the old people their pensions, they basically had all the old people go to the banks to get their pensions, which is like the most ridiculous thing that you could possibly do. Yeah, but the entire city shut down. You can go for food and stuff like that. But it seems way more intense in the USA. So,
let me just say this, JJ. That was one person, bro. She knows 3 people that passed away from it: a schoolmate and one other person in her job. So that was this one person that died from. He just had pneumonia. You don't just have pneumonia and then just boom die overnight from it. It's a progressive thing, right? So this virus attacks your upper respiratory. It's SARS. It's literally SARS. That's why it's called SARS-CoV-2. It's SARS mixed with Corona, and it's kind of a cousin of SARS, and it attacks your upper respiratory system. And you can't breathe, and it floods your system and causes. And some people, and this is a scary thing. You don't know how you're going to react to it. Like most people won't die, of course. Like I said, I have to throw that out there. But the 15% that do have symptoms are gonna go through. It's gonna be a rough 3-4 weeks for you, and then the 5% that get it bad, man. It's no joke. So that was just one person.
So you caught it.
Yeah. Me, my wife tested. I didn't go test because I didn't want to waste a test because if my wife is positive and I'm having the same symptoms, then of course I got it. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Yeah. It's interesting because I've been hearing different things in terms of just
Bernie Mac did not die from the flu overnight. He had sarcosis, or a rare disease. He didn't die from overnight. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I've been hearing that just the importance of keeping a high immune system, eating your fruits and your veggies, getting your exercise, sweating everthing out.
Yeah, I'm sure that
can't hurt.
Yeah, it can't hurt.
It's all about high immune system.
I've been taking elderberry for a while, even before the COVID thing. Me and the wife, dibble and dabble with elderberry, so we really loaded up on that once we had to hunker down. So it helped with me, but again, it's no surefire. Like my stepfather, he was on that hydrochloroquine with the Z-Pack and zinc, and it didn't. He's still in the hospital. He's getting better, but it didn't like miracle, overnight, like people are saying in 2 days, just clean everything out and he's all good. He didn't have that experience. So he was still struggling, with the disease for a week and some change. Finally getting better. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like, go ahead.
It's interesting. So you remember when I called? It was a while. It was a while ago, but it was the day that the bond trader called. It was the same exact day. You remember that I put out there that one of my friends says that the U.S. economy is basically done, and that the dollar is done. From you being in the States, how do you possibly see the United States bouncing back from this situation?
I don't see them bouncing back. Bro. We've now just perpetually turned on the money machine, and there's no coming out. Once you go down the rabbit hole, it's like a black hole, right? Once we cross the event horizon. Once you cross the event horizon of the black hole, it's no coming back. I think that's what we've done. Now, how long it takes from here could be 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. Who knows? Because we're still the best house on the bad block. You compare us to any other country, we're still, because we still have that reserve currency of the world, that world reserve currency. We're still in the best position to take advantage of the opportunity. So I don't know how long it can go, but we've crossed the event horizon. It's no coming back. We're going to continue to print.
So,
yeah, go ahead.
In essence, now this is actually the main use case for cryptocurrency. Like this actually puts it into a position where cryptocurrencies actually make more sense now. I wouldn't specifically say from the stance of safe haven asset, but definitely a hedge against centralized entities. Definitely, it seems a no-brainer. What's your perspective on that now?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Basically, everyone is looking at cryptocurrencies, and would your perspective be now that cryptocurrencies hold more importance than ever based on the entire situation with the United States dollar and just the world economies? Like these decentralized currencies definitely hold more importance now than ever before. What's your perspective on that?
It's tricky, man. Like, I think I've told you guys this before. I think in the short run, you're going to see cryptos head lower because it's we've got a correlation with equities right now with crypto. And it makes sense, right? Mm-hmm. If you have an economic slowdown, the people that hold crypto, if they're not working, if their business is not doing well, they're going to slowly have to grab from that pot. They're going to have to grab from that crypto pot. So you're going to have downward pressure on the selling of cryptos in the short term. Long term, I don't know, man. We got so many stupid people out here, bro.
Think about it. Think about it from a logical perspective. More from like a multimillionaire, billionaire perspective. All right, you see all of this stuff going on with the dollar and everything like that. You definitely want to hedge. Gold definitely makes sense. Silver definitely holds a lot of value. Now you've got to look at it from the perspective of like, okay, as long as the internet's not going down, we definitely need a means to be able to transact and move our wealth around. Okay, there's this Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin so happens to have the strongest hash power, the most secure. Okay, let me move my money through that. I think the use case scenario for wealthy people, even if cryptocurrencies aren't the saving grace of the world at large, it can definitely be a private club between multimillionaires and billionaires. What do you think about that?
At least not yet, bro. I know a billionaire personally, and that's not their mindset. Like, they're thinking traditional markets. Like, they made their money from the system that exists now. Like, that's why I laugh at people saying that the powers that be wants to reset the system. No, why would they want to reset the system? The system's working perfectly fine for them. There is no reason to reset the system. They're extracting wealth from us every day. Federal Reserve, New York Fed, and their cronies, Wall Street. What are we resetting the system for? The system's working perfectly for them.
So then what's your perspective on the digital dollar then? Because that is a real case.
So that's what I was trying to get at. I think because we have so many sheeple in this world that when they create their CBDC or whatever, the central bank digital currency, I'm afraid that more people are just going to latch on to that because they're going to give them an incentive to. I think I heard someone, this is not my idea, I heard someone say that they're going to roll out, this was their theory. They were going to roll out this new central bank digital dollar with an incentive like, hey, everyone go download this wallet, you'll get a free $5,000 or whatever, right? Some bait mechanism to get people to latch onto it, and boom, there you have it. Everyone's gonna do it. People are already waiting and can't get jumping up for joy for $1,200 here in America. So what they could easily just say, hey, we got a wallet for every social security number. It's $5,000 on it. Go on our centralized platform, sign up, get you a wallet, and boom, you'll have your $5,000, and this is the new digital dollar. So, and I think most people will fall for it, bro. Most will fall for it, and it's unfortunate. But
so, have you looked into the digitaldollarproject.org?
Nah.
I definitely think that you should go and check it out because it's this digital dollar thing is definitely a serious big deal. And
oh yeah, we talked about that earlier tonight.
Right,
yeah, we talked about that. I think we talked about it earlier tonight. One of the articles, I've got it up right now. It may have been right before you called in. Maybe you missed it. We were talking about this central bank. There's a coalition of countries that have gotten together here, and they're planning on it. They're planning on the CBDC.
So I have a question. If every person on this earth, or at least now let's say 1 billion people on this earth end up were airdropped a cryptocurrency, would that be a good thing for adoption? And what would be like the legalities behind something like that, where everyone ends up having a cryptocurrency? What would stop that, or what would be the things in play that would make that a wrong thing? Give me some perspective about specifically if everyone had cryptocurrency, or if a huge percentage of this world has cryptocurrency, because we're still talking about 1%, it may be 2% of the world that's really in this like that.
No, less.
If that.
No, it's way less.
Okay.
Yeah, way less. You're talking about maybe 0.1% of the globe has cryptocurrencies at this point. Think about it. I mean, at 10%, how many people do we have in this world? 7 billion. 10% would be what? 700 million. 1% would be 70 million. So yeah, 7 million people. That sounds about right. How many people are in the cryptos right now? So it's got a potential for a huge upside, no doubt. But I don't know. How do we get the rest of that? How do we get the 99.9 people, the rest of the people to jump on it before they dangle their digital currency in front of our face? I don't know, man. People got to wake up and smarten up. They got to start becoming more knowledgeable about what's going on, bro. And I just don't see that happening. Maybe this is the catalyst. I'm hoping it is. I'm hoping that people.
So you
wake
feel
up.
You feel the answer would be if everyone had cryptocurrencies right now. You think that this would literally change the pace of the world, or would it be that at the end of the day people just get tricked out of their cryptocurrencies?
Which crypto? Are you talking about a centrally planned and distributed crypto, or are you talking about the cryptos that we use, Bitcoin, Litecoin, all those?
Well, let's try both realms. Let's say that a centrally planned crypto. If there's a centrally planned crypto and everyone's airdropped essentially plan crypto and everything like that. Who's to say that specifically with that system that people don't end up losing all that money anyway, and it just being funneled back to the source of where it came from?
Well, I mean, that's always the plan, right? Anyway, with any money system, the plan is to funnel the money back to the top, and so that's what would happen with this centrally planned digital currency. Anyway, they're going to be able to, you basically. You rely on them anyway. The system is set up for you to rely on them anyhow. So with their system, that's what's going to happen. You know, it's now on the other side, the other scenario, if more people adopted Bitcoin and Litecoin and all the Monero and all these coins, then there's no way for them. They would have to buy in to the coin to take control over a lot of the supply, but that would benefit us first before benefiting them. That's the problem with this scenario, and why they're going to create their own. And unfortunately, I think most people are just going to bite what they create. They're gonna adopt what they create, man. I know we don't want to hear that, and I'm not saying that our cryptocurrencies are going away. I'm not saying that at all. I think there's still a lot of upside to Bitcoin, to a lot of these cryptos and stuff, but to think that we're going to have a world where 90%, 80%, 50% of the world is using Bitcoin, it's just not going to happen, in my opinion. They're not going to let that happen. They're not going to let that happen, I should say.
Well, it just makes sense. Like, all right, what's the market cap of Bitcoin right now, or even just like the entire cryptocurrency? It's like, let's just say, like, to make it even, 200 billion. Like that could like easily be bought up by the banking institutions. So it's just a ripple.
Yeah, it's just shy. It's just shy of yeah, that's funny. It's just shy of 200 billion. It's just shy of 200 billion. But you got to remember that number is actually inflated. That's not the true number. It's less than that. Substantially less than that. You know, a lot of there's, you know, coin. We just talked about coin market cap. The way they calculate the market cap of these coins and stuff is inflated hugely, right? So I would say the true market cap of cryptocurrencies is probably like 50 billion. Real money, like actual dollars. You get what I'm saying? Dollars in is probably like 50.
If a cryptocurrency could be airdropped to everyone, like everyone got maybe a little bit of Bitcoin or a little bit of Monero or whatever cryptocurrency, EOS, whatever. And I'm not like, taking a side. I'm just saying the cryptocurrency. Is that the answer for freedom? Like being able to, the financial freedom of having your personal sovereignty? Is that the answer for everyone to have access to and have a piece of this system? Or is it, we're just going to keep it a closed niche thing? Because if the world doesn't adopt it, then it's just going to be a closed niche thing. And at the end of the day, it's just going to be the wealthy people who have the majority of it. And, the people, the small
if we continue this current system that we're in, it's designed for wealth to be concentrated with a small percentage. So the real question is, do we have a new system that comes into existence or not? So that's really the question that you have to ask yourself. If there is a new system, then yeah, there's an opportunity possibly for us to change some things and make things a little bit more fair. But I'm more of a realist, man. They already have the infrastructure and everything in place to control things. I don't see it. If it's a new system, it's going to be their new system, i.e. the digital crypto dollars that they're going to, all these countries are starting to play with and set up, man.
Now, this is a tangent question. What is your opinion on what's that token everyone's talking about? Why isn't so many coins out there?
Mm-hmm.
It's the Oracle one. What's it called again?
Chainlink.
Chainlink, yes, that's it. What's your opinion on Chainlink and the whole entire ecosystem of oracles? Like, is this really feasible? Is this realistic? Is this a hype? Because obviously, I see that they have a deal with Swift, or like they're working hand in hand with Swift. Like, and then some of my partners are telling me like, "Yo, this is going to be like the next big thing." It's like, yeah. So, what's your perception on that one?
Yeah, Chainlink is official. I mean, Chainlink has a deal with Google too. I think Google is, I believe it's Google that last year they did something, partnered up with Google on something. Yeah, there's some promise with that, but again, that Chainlink is more so it's not a cryptocurrency. That, I mean, you can trade it, right? It has value, but that's more so that's the blockchain side of things. You know,
yeah. So what's the use case scenario of the token?
That's a
what's
huge,
the use case?
That's a huge market. The blockchain is going to be huge. But the question about whether or not, you know, cryptocurrencies are going to be huge, that's a direct threat to the Federal Reserve, the central banks around the world, and I just think they're going to create something to take people's attention off of it, because this current system is failing. They're trying to do everything in their power to keep this thing going, and I think that the central banks, the digital currencies that they're creating, is going to be their escape. Personally, you know what I'm saying? I think that's the next move for them as this thing collapses.
So how do we give cryptocurrencies to the world without going to jail for it? that's a serious question, because it seems like, well, what you're saying, that there's a force stopping it from reaching the mainstream. And let's say that hypothetically, Crypto Blood wants to give everybody on Earth some crypto. Basically, in a sense, how do you do that without not going to jail?
You don't go to, I mean, the thing is, bro, it's a step. You're skipping a step. It's a step before giving people crypto. You have to educate people on why they even need crypto. That's the disconnect, and where we're not succeeding as a community. We're not convincing people. And again, maybe this is the catalyst. What's going on here in America? I know you're in Argentina, but America is, out of all the countries, bro, America is printing and bailing out the most than any other country. Yet we're supposed to be the wealthiest country. That lets you know right there. That's a damn lie. That lets you know.
But the U.S. dollar is still the reserve currency of the world. It's still the reserve currency of the world. So it's not like it's going to disappear up and stop.
You're right.
If it does, Argentina is going to be 10 times in a worse position.
Exactly.
Like everywhere else.
And that's why I'm saying I don't think the system is going to go away. I think it's going to change. You know, I think it's going to change, but it's not going away, because we are still the reserve. Now, you know, there are some deals that I've heard that are going on behind the scenes, behind, you know, the U.S. You know, you got the whole One Belt, One Road with China trying to click up with a lot of countries in Africa and Russia and even in South America. You know, they're trying to do some things, but this coronavirus has put a halt to all that for China. See, people fail to realize China.
Do you think that China's not working on their digital currency?
Say that again.
You think that China really just stopped working on their digital currency because of the coronavirus? There's no way that could occur.
Yeah, everything's on halt, bro. And the thing is, that was internal anyway, so that really doesn't affect anyone else. That's for them, the CCP, to have more control over more things. So them rolling out the digital currency is not to be like trying to have some, because I don't know if you read about it in detail, but they're still keeping the yuan, the fiat version of the yuan. The digital version of it is for internal use. So there's still going to be two different currencies there. The digital one, which is for internal domestic usage, and then the yuan is for exports. So but what I'm saying is China is in more trouble than we are at this juncture. Because you got to think, man, they've got to keep the facade up for billions of people. And they just shut down, and they're still having troubles getting back up and running. But they got to keep that facade going. They've got hundreds of cities that are empty. You know, they've got a house of cards even worse than ours. You know, so you got to think, and their debt to GDP ratio is the highest in the world. We're second. We're not even number one. China's number one. So.
Well, jumping back to what you're saying about the education factor of educating people on cryptos, I see where you're coming from with the education factor. But then how after educating people do you distribute crypto to all these people without going to jail for it? That's my question to you.
Who's going to distribute it? Who's doing that? It's got to be a grassroots. It's not going to come from the top down. In order for a system like this to work, bro, it's got to come from the bottom up. There's going to be a bottom up revolution that have to occur. So it's not going to be
for example, I know you don't like the Lightning Network, or you're not really. It's not your thing like that. But let's say that hypothetically the Lightning Network works and you can give satoshis to everyone, and you do like a promotional campaign, you know, just to like get the word out and everything like that. And you offer everyone.
But you're failing to realize who's giving these satoshis. This is not like fiat money where you can create it and just send it out to people.
No, but I'm just saying, like, hypothetically, you go in your pocket and you're like, I know you wouldn't probably do it, but you go in your pocket and you're like, I'm going to do a giveaway for all my subscribers and everything like that. And I'm going to give a Satoshi to 100 million people. You feel me? That's one Bitcoin. You feel me? It's just for educational use and everything like that.
Not going to have an effect.
You don't think you're going to go to jail for that?
No. I'm not going to go to jail.
No.
But more importantly, it's not going to have an effect. No, they're not going to know what to
Why
do
would
with
it have
it
an effect?
because it's a lack of knowledge. They don't understand what's the even reason of having a crypto. They don't understand that the dollar is a fiat currency that's stealing wealth from them every minute through inflation. They don't understand any of that. So you have to educate the people first. Then you.
So what if someone hits you and they're like, yo, and this is just because I'm looking to understand just the whole concept of just this ecosystem that we're a part of. So what if someone says, okay, but you can make a cryptocurrency out of thin air. All of these cryptocurrencies inexplicably are made out of thin air. What's it any different than a fiat currency such as the dollar? Majority of their supplies are centrally owned anyway. How do you respond to something like that? And this is just me playing the character for what you will hear from a lot of different people who are not in crypto, but they are aware of crypto.
Yeah, like I said, man, it's got to be a bottom up. It's knowledge, like Professor Curtis says here in the chat room, knowledge is power. It's got to start with knowledge. It's got to start with educating people. And then you won't even have to give them anything. They're going to be running to buy Bitcoin and Litecoin and all that because a light bulb is going to go off. And they're going to finally realize that they need to flee this system. Brit VR, my man Brit VR, he asked a question. Do you think the stock market going to fall this week? Absolutely. It's time to fade that rally, baby. It's time to fade that rally. We've gone up 25% or so off the lows, off of nonsense. You saw the report this past week. Unemployment claims or jobless claims. Thursday was another 6.6 million. It's getting worse, people. Every week it's going to get worse and worse. The longer things are shut down. And eventually the markets will have to catch up with these earnings that we're going to start seeing rolling out here in the stock markets. You're going to start seeing earnings. I think it's earnings season coming up. And yeah, once these earnings start coming out, buddy, it's going to be a shit show. Put it to you that way. But that's pretty much it for today, ladies and gents. Flo, thanks for the call in. I appreciate everyone. Make sure you guys definitely go support my man John Kim as well on I think he has a YouTube channel, but he's definitely on Twitter. So go check him out. And much love to everyone. Be safe out there. I'm out of here, people. Holla.
For running your job. If it ain't about the dollars, then it don't make sense. Got water, but it ain't from Flint. Trying to chase all this bread, though the shit won't last. About to shut the city down like a crypto crash. Stacking my coin, stacking my coin. Stacking my coin, stacking my coin. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, cash. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, cash. Stacking my coin, stacking my coin. Stacking my coin.
Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Okay. Ready?
Fucking thing sucks. We'll do it live.
Okay.